Hey y'all, it's Matt with the Traveling Texans. Welcome back to the channel. So I had a friend reach out to me, and he said that he's retiring soon and he's thinking about doing some traveling himself. Okay, he had some questions. Some of y'all might have had the same questions. We know that our friends have reached out to us and asked us this, but maybe you're not a personal friend of ours, but you're a friend of the channel and you're wondering about some of this stuff. So here's some questions that we get, and then specifically that my buddy Darren Grant has gotten and that he had about traveling and being overseas for an extended period. So I'm going to cover some of those questions right now. His first one that Darren asked was, what are you homesick for? We've been in Thailand. We spent a month in Thailand. We spent a month in Bali. We're currently in Vietnam. We've been in Vietnam a little bit over a week. I guess what I personally have gotten homesick for is some of the food. So we ate at a Mexican food restaurant in Thailand, Ao Nang, Thailand, called like Crazy Gringos. The Mexican food sucked. Okay. Maybe like I got a chimichanga or something like that. Maybe I should have gotten like the shrimp tacos since I was on the coast, like it was directly across the street from the beach. Maybe I should have gotten that. That was a safer choice, but I made the mistake of getting a chimichanga burrito. And there's some things, like some of the flavors lacking. So they obviously didn't have cumin or camino, however you refer it, chili powder, stuff like that. It did have like a curry taste to it. So it wasn't the worst thing that I've eaten, but it wasn't Mexican food. So man, I could crush a plate of like enchiladas and tacos and a tamale and some rice and beans from Adobe Cafe in New Braunfels, Texas right now. Yeah, I'm kind of salivating just thinking about it. So, I mean, it's mainly food. That's what, so far, 2.5 months into this journey, the main thing that I'm missing, that I'm homesick for is the food. And we did get a little bit, like I went to, we were just in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, however you want to refer it to, recently. And I found a place that had chicken fried steak. They called it like country fried steak. But so we did go there. We went and ate there, and we took advantage actually of whatever we could while we were there. But we went there and they had the chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, fried okra, and guess what else they had? Dr. Pepper. Yeah, they had Dr. Pepper. There was another place that was in Ho Chi Minh City that was owned by somebody that's actually from San Antonio. So I heard. And they had hamburgers, they had pizza. I ordered from them. The burger was good. The pizza was, sorry if you're watching, I'm not going to call you out, but the pizza was just okay. But they had Dr. Pepper also. So we had Dr. Pepper twice while we were in Ho Chi Minh City. And then also had chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, fried okra. It's the food. It's the food. So if we're somewhere like that, we might take advantage and not eat the local food. Normally, wherever we're at, we eat local food. Like when we were in Thailand, we could eat for cheap. And I'll get to that in just a minute. But for now, the biggest thing that I'm particularly homesick for is the food. The next thing that Darren asked is, do me and my family feel safe? Absolutely. Yeah. We felt safe like everywhere we've gone. The only time that I didn't really feel unsafe, but I was kind of eyeballing somebody is whenever we were in Thailand, we were on the beach. And there was a group of guys that were walking around, kind of older gentlemen. And the kids were playing on the beach. Meghan and Christy were on the beach with them. I was sitting on the steps kind of a little bit further away. I don't know. Maybe it was my spidey senses. I used to be a cop and just whatever. They were just looking at the kids a little too much. Made me a little bit uncomfortable. They might have gotten a bit of a glare from me whenever they looked back because they knew I was there. They knew I was there. They knew I was with them. And yeah, I mean, it was like, yeah. So they might have gotten a bit of a glare from me. And, but I didn't feel unsafe. I didn't think that they were going to try to do anything to the kids or anything like that. Had they tried, then that would have been the last thing they would have done. So, because, yeah, you mess with my kids, then that's a self-correcting error and a fatal mistake. But but no, I mean, anywhere else we've gone. So we've been in Bangkok, we've been in Ho Chi Minh City, we've been in Ao Nang, Thailand, we've been in Jakarta. Um, we are currently in Hoi An, Vietnam. Uh, you know, Indonesia. We've been in Bali. We've been in little villages and everything. We felt perfectly safe, and the people are so warm and welcoming. Like if you're walking around New York, if we were visiting New York or something, people aren't going to give you, look at you twice. But no, I mean, everywhere we've gone, everybody's been so warm and welcoming and kind. I think I had one person kind of twist off a little bit and say something to me whenever we were on a walking street in Ho Chi Minh City a couple of days ago. But she's probably saying, "Hey, get the hell out of the way. I'm trying to drive my scooter through this little bitty alley, and you, Mr. Pedestrian, are in my way." But no, we felt safe everywhere we've gone. I actually feel safer in some of these cities over here than I would walking around New York, because that's turned into a big giant shithole right now. So I'd rather not even go visit there. But no, I feel safer here than I do some places in the U.S. But yeah, actually, absolutely feel safe. And Darren also asked about prices. So for like real estate. The first place that we got, and we're just talking about Airbnbs, okay? So I'm not talking about like buying a house or anything, even though that's my profession. I'm a realtor, but our long-term Airbnbs. So just about everywhere we go, we've been staying for a month. And the first place we went in Ao Nang, Thailand, we paid just over $1,000 for a 3-bedroom house. So it was 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, with a little garden in the back. And cold AC, good kitchen. Yeah, just over $1,000 a month. That's a lot less than what my mortgage is. The next one that we had was in Bali, and I did a video on that one. Okay, this thing was massive. It was a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath house. I think I put like a 3.5 or whatever in the video, but it's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, and full kitchen. The backyard of this place was just amazing. The plants, the trees, we're in a mango farm. There are coconut trees and papaya and this pool, and it just overlooked these mountains to the west, and we got gorgeous sunsets. It's like being in paradise, staying in paradise for a month, and it's right in your backyard. And that one was just over $2,000 a month. It was like $2,050 or something like that. Again, still less than my freaking mortgage. Vietnam, we're spending a little bit more, but that's only because we're staying in we stayed in Ho Chi Minh City for like 7 nights, and then we came to Hoi An, and we're staying here for 3 weeks. So if you stay for 28 days or longer, you generally get a bigger discount. So what I've seen is even if we're staying for a week or more, then we get a discount. You'll get like a weekly discount, but you get a bigger discount if you're staying for 28 days plus. So you'll get that monthly discount. The one that we have here, I did a video on it as well. I mean, it's 1 minute walk to the beach, and there's restaurants and cafes and little coffee houses and mini marts and everything within like a 1 or 2 minute walk of here. And 3-bedroom, 4 bath, and we're paying about $1,600 a month for this one. For the apartment that we had in Ho Chi Minh City, we paid about $700 for it for 7 nights. But had we stayed, and so like the weekly discount was like maybe only $50 or so. Had we stayed a month, we probably would have paid about $1,600 for that one for the entire month. This one we're staying for 3 weeks. We're getting about $1,600. This probably would have been about the same price had we stayed for a month. I haven't picked out the next one yet for our next destination, but like I said, we always see that monthly discount. Transportation costs are low also. So between just my wife and I, with our 2 vehicles, payments only was about $1,300 to $1,400 a month. We sold those, right? We sold the vehicles. We bought Meghan's in March of 2019, and we got more for it than what we paid for it. Like 3.5 years later, we actually made money on that thing. So, but no, we just take a Grab anywhere we go. It wasn't available in Thailand, or I'm sorry, it wasn't available in Bali where we were at. So we were in a village called Rangdu in the north, and Grab wasn't available there. Okay, it's just a small village of about 1,000 people. It's very rural out there. But down in the south, in Denpasar, Kuta, Sanur, all that down there in the south where everybody usually goes, Grab was available. So when we were in Thailand, if we needed a grab, it would probably be like maybe $2, $3 one way to go somewhere. So we're round trip about $6. But even if we did say one trip a day on average, because there's some days we didn't even go anywhere, but say on average one trip a day, we spent $6 a day on transportation. That's $180. That includes fuel, right? And that includes the vehicle. We didn't have it in Bali. We were in Ho Chi Minh City. We can go somewhere, and yeah, it's usually like, depending on what you got, a dollar or two, something like that. So in Ho Chi Minh City, you can get a motorbike. I'm like, if it was just me, like I did that one time, like Christy and I were out walking on a walking street. I got a motorbike back, and it cost me less than $1 for them to take me back to our apartment. So yeah, transportation is cheap. We considered getting motorbikes, but we just haven't done that yet. We might do that here in Hoi An, just because it's a little bit more laid back here. It's not as crazy as it is, like, say, even in Ao Nang or definitely in Ho Chi Minh City. But transportation costs have been low dollars, just a few dollars a day, less than $10 a day. Just think, you spend less than $10 a day, it's less than $300 for a month. And when's the last time you were able to find a car that was $300 a month with transportation or with fuel? Food costs, as long as you're eating local food, then you can keep the cost low. So in Thailand, we usually normally cooked breakfast at the house. We'd have like bacon and eggs, sausage and eggs, cereal, whatever. That's usually just easier. So we'd go to the grocery store for that. But for like lunch or dinner, sometimes lunch we'd eat at the house. Dinner almost always, I don't think I ever cooked dinner when I was in Thailand. We almost always either went out to eat or got a Grab, because Grab it's like Uber, it's like Uber Eats. They'll also deliver food. And in Thailand, I could get 3 meals for adults delivered with tip for around $7. Not bad, right? In Bali, we cooked almost all the time. So we did breakfast every single day, lunch, and a lot of times for dinner. Like in the place that we were at, there was a cook that was available. But I mean, they even told us like, hey, it's expensive for us to cook for you off the menu. They offered, to go buy the groceries and they can cook, or we could, so we'd either cook at home, or there were local places called warongs. It means like a shop or store that we would go to and we could eat, and it was super cheap. It might be like $1 or so, $1.30 for like a bowl of noodle soup with some meatballs, or noodles and meatballs, stuff like that. The bakso ayam, mee ayam. And in Vietnam is kind of the same. As long as you're eating the local food, then you can save money. It's a lot cheaper. It's whenever you start eating like the international food, the Western food, that's when the prices start going up. We'll indulge in that every now and then, but most of the time we just eat local. And I've gotten used to it. So now if I go somewhere, so we're in Vietnam, right? And roughly 25,000 dong is $1. I'd rather not spend more than like $2 on a meal. So that's like 50,000, maybe 60,000 dong. So around $2. If I see something and it's over 100,000, 150, which is only $6, then I'm like, I cringe. I'm like, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to pay those, prices or anything like that. I'd rather eat like a local. And the food's great. So, but yeah, as long as you're eating the local food, then you can save money and keep the prices or your cost for food low. About the only thing that we pay more for while we're traveling is our phone plan. We could have gotten, like an eSIM or something like that. But we have AT&T and we have the international plan. And what it does is we get basically our same plan that we have back home, back in Texas, here internationally. We pay more for it though. So if we're both using it, it's $15 a day. But it's capped at 10 days. So they only charge you for 10 days. So we're paying $150 more for our phone plans than what we did back home. So instead of paying because we're still paying for the phones too, I think it's like $250 roughly is what we're paying. We're paying about $500 or $400. So $150 a month more for the phone plan, but everything else is less. So no transportation costs, or a lot lower transportation costs, much lower. The food is a lot less, and it's great. The housing is less, so we're paying less than what we are for our mortgage. Plus, we rented out our house, and then paying more for the phone. But that's really the only thing. I mean, even when you add in the cost of flying around here, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, for us we just flew from Ho Chi Minh City to Da Nang, and I paid around $700 for all 5 of us to fly. And that was like an upgraded option where we got to pick our seats, had a meal on board. Our bags were offloaded, had priority for that. So we were in like row 5 or something. So it was a little bit better seats. But yeah, I mean, it's cheap. So, I take that back. I take that back. For us to fly from Ho Chi Minh City to Da Nang was less than $200. Paid about $180. It's going to cost us about $700 or $800 for us to fly from Da Nang to our next destination, which is another country. Yeah. So the most that I don't even think I've spent $1,000 for all of us to fly from one country to another. I mean, it's a lot cheaper. So that cost is almost nothing. But yeah, if you got any questions about, the traveling and how we're doing it, or questions, how you could do it or how we're doing it or just anything, drop those in the comments. We're happy to engage with y'all. We appreciate everybody following and liking and interacting with us. We love sharing our journey with you. So yeah, until next time, we'll see y'all later and we'll see you in the next video.